what I like to do, I'm going to clear his input. Right, let's do this. I'm going to do Hadouken, right? Oh, I fucked it up. There we go. Okay. You look at the inputs. It should be the same every single time. You see down, down, forward, forward, and then you see forward at a punch button. It doesn't mean you hit forward twice. It just means that it recognizes the Hadouken motion and the punch button with the forward to the Hadouken. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to do every button, right? Light. And you should have consistency through every single button like that. And do light, medium, heavy, and of course EX. Make sure when you're doing the EX, you're hitting both at the same time. Try not to blink it. I know I blinked a lot. But for the sake of actually being consistent, that's how you want it to look. You could do any other two buttons. Now as you see right there, I hit down and forward. It's because I never hit the corner, the down forward. And it's not gonna do a Hadouken. So there's a ways to figure out whether or not you're actually doing the motions correctly. And just so you know, in order to get that, you gotta go into training options. I put auto block on. That means he'll block. He'll let you hit him the first time, and you can combo. But if you don't combo correctly, he will block the second and third hits and so on. But you want to put your SC gauge, super gauge, and your revenge gauge on refill or infinite, so you can practice your moves without having to recharge everything. You want to put stun on none, so that if you hit him a bunch of times, he doesn't just sit there getting stunned and kind of mess up your flow. Attack data on if you want it, and input display on. That's what you want. And stand or whatever, because you're only practicing the basic stuff anyway. Alright, so you got to do both sides. And keep in mind that one side's going to be much easier than the other side, even from the get-go. But you're going to want to practice both sides until you're equally as smooth, and you're not getting extra inputs like that. Yeah, you don't want none of that. And if you are, it means you're either too anxious, or you're holding on too tightly. You really have to just nice and smooth, little inputs as possible. And I can't tell you how to do that exactly, because you're gonna have to make your own adjustments. Everybody uses a fight stick a little bit differently. As you can tell, I use it this way, right? It's kind of like the Vulcan grip or whatever, but some people use it this way. I don't know if anybody uses that way, probably not. But this is a good way to start if you're not sure. And make sure that you're just very lightly on it. And even if you want to just kind of move it around a little bit, listen to the clicks. Try not to go crazy like that, right? Because you're going to get extra inputs. But the best way to clean that up is just start off slow. Look at your inputs. Okay. And of course, we're going to do both sides. And of course, with Ryu, he also has down back kick, which will work the same way. Alright, input's pretty clean, pretty confident. If they're looking like that, then you know you have at least a good start. And of course, you want to work on canceling a move into the special move and make sure it's looking the same. Right? And just don't go crazy. You can go into 3 or 4 move combos if you want. Whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as you're not mashing and you're really paying attention to your inputs. And next up, we're going to do the Dragon Punch. Now, Dragon Punch is one of those things where no matter what you do, you can get a Dragon Punch. But if you want to do it properly or into a combo, you're going to want to do it. You don't want to mash it out, because you're going to get a whole bunch of crap. If you don't do it right, you're going to get supers. You might actually end up getting an Ultra, or end up getting an EX uppercut instead of an Ultra. But what you really want to do is practice the Dragon Punch, which the actual motions are forward, down, and down, forward. Forward, down, forward. Like that. Now the inputs aren't going to look like that per se, because just naturally how it is. After you do down, forward, you don't necessarily go neutral. Like, it's sort of like that, down. Yeah, see, I don't even see a forward. So it's a little wonky, so don't worry about the inputs there. But the best way to practice dragon punches is with Ryu because he can juggle a couple in the corner. What I like to do is start off with a light punch and then follow up with the medium. Do that a couple times. Alright? It'll look very similar to Hadouken, but you'll get a forward in there just before you get into the Hadouken motion. Alright, once you feel comfortable with that, you're going to want to do both sides, and then you're going to want to add a jump-in punch maybe, or maybe a ground punch. In this case, maybe heavy punch into light, without hitting forward, heavy punch first, and then dragon punch. Okay. Feeling pretty good about that. Let's switch corners. I like to do corners because you can repeat without having to chase the character over the screen. Oh, by the way, also with Ryu, you can also do a light hurricane kick into medium punch. So if you want to practice a bunch of moves into one, you can do that. So let's go here, jump. We're going to do jumping heavy, keep it simple. Jumping heavy, standing heavy into dragon punch, light version into medium punch.